Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We're just about to start the Film My Run 500. Off we go. A few hundred metres before we get to the actual start. We've just got a little bit of a stroll before we get there, and then we will ramp it up. 12% elevation on the treadmill, 12% incline on the treadmill, and 500 metres of climbing to do in the next 4.2 kilometres. Let me turn the fan on. Good morning if you're watching on Facebook, Andrew Cutmore, Clive Finnemore. Good morning if you're watching on YouTube, Stephen Smith, who is currently on the Mayfield track doing a 30-minute session. And good morning if you're watching on Twitch. Nobody chatting on Twitch just yet. So we're off and running. Well, not really running. We'll be walking for the next few hundred metres. Andrew Jackson is with us. Clive Finnemore, Gallagher, Emily. Is it Emily Gallagher? Let me just double check that. Lee Burchard looks like he's stuck on the start line. Eleanor Gallagher. So Eleanor Gallagher, Clive Finnemore, Andrew Jackson, Lee Burchard, and then we've got our usual set of excitable runners who've run off into the distance up ahead. But that's what we usually get. And right, let's get it up to 12% then. So 12% incline on the treadmill just before we actually start. You can see the zeros at the top of the screen there, so nothing has started yet. But when you see the blue zeros start ticking up and the seconds start going up, that's when we've actually started. So treadmill is nearly the top of the 12%. There we are, we're now at the top. And we just need to get used to how that feels again. Stephen Smith says, thank you, Clive, for the ride on.
Ride on!
Thank you, B-Run, for the ride on. Okay, there we are. The seconds have started ticking up, so we now have actually started the run. But we will be walking for another 400 metres. Stephen Smith, Clive says, that's okay. You're welcome. Okay, here we go then. So this is France on Zwift. We're climbing up Ventop or Ventoux, as it is in actual France, but on Zwift it's called Ventop, and it's a 21 kilometre climb to the very top. We're only going 4.2 kilometres, so not very far, but nice and steep. Andrew Cutmore says, do you know if the levelling shoes for the Noble Pro are on general release? I don't think they are yet. I've got 2 pairs, so I don't actually need one. I've got the original beta version and I've got the kind of newer version, which actually I don't know what the difference is between them. But I haven't seen them on general sale yet. It's worth just messaging Stefan on Facebook and just asking. Stefan, who is the boss of Noble Pro, is very active on the Zwift Runners Facebook page. So Andrew, if you go on and just type a message to Stefan, he should be able to tell you. They might be on release, but I don't know, I'm afraid, Andrew. Okay, we're still walking it out. When we get to 400 metres, we will start jogging. I hope you are all well this morning. I think most of you know the drill. Sasha, good morning to you. Hello. Ellen has been watching the cycling on TV. Yes, well done to the cycling teams for double silver. Germany were very strong. You should have your treadmill at 12% incline. Shortly, we will start jogging. Full stop. stride length and relatively fast cadence. Lee says his treadmill belt seems very slippy all of a sudden. You haven't oiled it recently, have you? Okay, so we have 3.8 kilometres left to do, a couple of miles, 2 and a bit miles. Sasha's having a rest day today. No oil, oh okay. I don't know then. Have you put on weight? Are you heavier? Are you dragging the treadmill along with you? So 5.5 kilometres per hour now as we go under the arch, and we will start gently jogging. Oh, lost weight. Okay, well, interesting. Yeah, tension of the belt, it could be. So G Rocket is just up ahead, 22 seconds ahead. Chotika is 48 seconds ahead. iCar is 1 minute 16 seconds ahead. Cornor from Spain is 1:53 ahead. And Ketbang Chak is nearly 3 minutes up. There you go. Clive Finnemal says, get your tension key out, Lee, and give it half a turn on each side. Right. We've got about 39 minutes of running to do from here. I've got one fan on at the moment. No doubt shortly I'll have to put the second fan on. Condensation, Lee? Could it be condensation on the belt? Have you stepped in something slippy on your shoes? Maybe it doesn't like inclines, yes. So we should now be on the balls of our feet. We are using our calf muscles to climb. Heels don't touch the floor now until the end of the run. Tina Beard says, I've just done an amazing stretch Pilates class. I feel a foot taller. Patrick Esser says, could be Clive's giant African snail. Well, it's actually Lee Burchard who's slipping and sliding on his treadmill. But maybe Clive's snail has made his way over to Lee's pad and climbed on his treadmill. It could be. Sasha, no Amanda today, no. Amanda is relatively regular, but not every single time. So we're still in our first kilometre. Should be very comfortable. Lee, I think what Patrick is meaning is that the snail has already been there and gone and left its residue behind, which is what you're slipping on. Yes, if it was still there, it would be a crunch rather than a slip. So, hello Patrick, hello Tina, hello Sasha, hello Andrew, hello Stephen Smith, hello Clive on YouTube and Facebook as we climb up Ventop in France with 35 minutes of running to do from here on in. Here in Sussex, it is sunny today. A little bit of scattered cloud, but the sun is out. So we're going to have, I think we've got a couple of nice days coming up, and then it gets rainy again. And we're going down to Cornwall at the weekend, where it's going to be rainy all weekend, unfortunately, I think. So you'll be able to watch a live stream of the RAT weekend, the Roseland August Trail Ultra Running Trail Running Festival down in Cornwall, and it will be a rain-sodden weekend, I think. Thankfully, me and my family are quite lucky. We don't have to stay in a tent. We have a little wooden pod to stay in, which is very nice. Waleed Single, hello, he says, on Twitch. So we've now got people on Twitch watching as well, so that's good. Lee Birchall says autumn has arrived. Adam Bent, hello to you. Hi Adam. Right, we're about to go up to 6 kilometers per hour now. I know it's not quick, it doesn't seem quick, it's not fast at all, and you can see our avatars are only walking, but climbing at this elevation incline on the treadmill, you wouldn't want to go too much faster for too long. Although 4 kilometers is not that far, when it's all uphill, when it's all on your toes, when it's all climbing with no rest and only getting quicker, by the end we will be tired. So I know it doesn't seem fast at the moment, but we're still working. It's all about strengthening the calf muscles so that you have more power when you come to racing, either on the flat or up hills. You have more power in those calf muscles to push you along. Clive Finnemore says running like this on Sunday on the hills really helped. Good. Well, I think it is efficient. I think it is an efficient way to run, or way to get up those hills, just that bit quicker than walking. Power walking is great, but I feel like if you were going to go the same speed power walking, I know Louise Isaacson would disagree, but I think your heart rate would go higher. I think you would be more out of breath power walking up the hills than running at this speed. 3 kilometers remaining of the Film My Run 500. Heart rate is 134.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Secret speed training. Is it really that slippy, Lee? There must be something on your treadmill belt. Or are you wearing different shoes which have less grip? Maybe they're just slipping a bit. 28 minutes to go. Andrew Cutmore says, any more videos due for release soon? No. I've got about 3 videos that I need to edit, but they are going to have to wait because I have now to concentrate on the documentary that I'm making on the Backyard Ultra world record that happened a couple of months ago. So that is going to take all my time now. Hopefully that will be released in September. But not, yeah, that's going to take up all my time, all my editing time. Apart from running time, all my editing time is going to be the Backyard Ultra documentary, hopefully released middle to end of September. Well, definitely released then, because it's got to be released before the World Championship Finals of Backyard Ultra in Tennessee, which is in October. So I've got to have it out before then. Lee Bershaw says, will it be shown in cinemas? I don't think so, no. It depends. We have a choice whether we put it on Amazon Prime or on Netflix. We can do that, but whether we want to or not is another matter. I'll discuss it with the race director who contracted me to do the film, and we'll discuss what we want to do with it. It might just be a free release on YouTube. It might initially be a paid release on YouTube, so you have to pay to watch it. Or, yeah, we could put it on Amazon Prime or Netflix. We'll just have to see. It might turn out rubbish, and then we don't put it on anything. 25 minutes to go. Gradually making our way through the second kilometre at 6.1 kilometres per hour. Teeny Beer says Netflix. The only problem with Netflix is it costs a lot of money to put your film on. Amazon Prime is free, you see. You can put your film on Amazon Prime for nothing. And Netflix charges a lot of money. So we'd have to be sure that we're going to make that money back if we put it on Netflix. And like I say, this is all premature because, hopefully it'll turn out good. I've certainly got the footage to make it good. I need to make sure I do a good edit. There's a lot of very rubbish things, rubbish running documentaries on Amazon Prime. I think that's primarily because it is free. If you go and search ultra running documentaries, there's a lot of dross on there, to be honest. A movie about running. Who'd have thought it, DHH? Michael Richter has dropped me a ride on. Thank you, Michael. I've been watching a lot of ultra running documentaries recently to get inspiration and ideas for my edit. Thank you. Adam says your videos are awesome. I have faith. Thank you. Right, 250 metres to go before we up it again. Trying to stay cool. I've still only got one fan on, so we'll keep it on this to until the next kilometre, then I might put the second fan on to cool me down a bit more. DHA says, just tuned in. I think you have lots of knowledge and experience to do a great movie. Thank you, DHH, thank you. Hopefully. So a nice steady 10 kilometres an hour. Just going to increase the speed in a minute. There's the arch up ahead. Lee Bircher says the film could be called A Game of Moans. Well, the thing is, it's not about me. I'm not in it. It features other runners, so thankfully they don't moan as much as I do when I'm on the trails. Yes, well, Adam says Billy Yang nails running documentaries, possible ideas. Yeah, well, one of his Western States films is one of the ones I'm looking at for inspiration. For the life of me, actually, I can't remember what it's called now, but it follows the fortunes of 4 or 5 female runners in the Western States from about 3 or 4 years ago. And that's the idea for me, is I'm focusing on 4 runners from the Backyard Ultra and telling their stories. So I'm looking at films like that, which follow 3 or 4, 5 different runners in a race. So there's a great documentary called Unbreakable, which is quite old and was a paid for documentary, but is now free to watch on YouTube. Okay, here we go. 6.5 kilometres an hour now for the next kilometre. So yeah, those are the kind of films I'm watching to just kind of steal ideas and, you know, look at the way they've done it to see how maybe I could do it. 2 kilometres done. Just over 2 to go. 19 minutes of running left. My heart rate is currently 140, cadence 170. So I think the heat is going to make us go over 150 again today. Clive is 143. Lee Birchall is 154 heart rate. Way up ahead, Paul Noor from Spain, 5 minutes ahead. Nur Hakim from Malaysia, 3:25 ahead. Aikar from Thailand and Chotika from Thailand, both about 3 minutes ahead. G Rocket from England, 1 minute ahead. So I hope they're doing the hills. Less than 2 kilometres to go. Right, on goes the fan, number 2, to my side here, and that blows a nice cool breeze. That's good. So it actually feels like a better fan sometimes than the one in front of me. Tina says, is Victoria recovered from the marathon? No. She woke up this morning complaining that her calves are really aching. But the funny thing is, we have a race tonight. So she better get over it pretty quick. Because we're doing a club handicap race tonight. Yeah, delayed onset muscle soreness. Have you heard of that, Tina? That's what she's got. Yesterday and today. I hope it's not too hot tonight. I'd quite like to give it a bit of a blast tonight. See how quickly we can go up the hill and down the other side. It's a 10k run tonight, and it's a regular once a year club handicap race. So we all get set off at different times. So the slower runners go first, faster runners towards the back. And the idea is that we catch people as we go. And I've won the race twice, I think. But that's usually when the faster runners aren't there. So I'm hoping there's no fast runners out tonight and I can steal it again. We'll see what happens. Lots of static electricity around my treadmill tonight, or today.
Thanks for giving my dad a ride on.
Paul Deering, dropping the ride-ons, thank you very much. Tina knows all about DOMs. "13 minutes to go, 1.5 kilometres left. Film my run 500 climbing up Ventop in France on Zwift. Live on YouTube, Facebook and Twitch. We do this every Tuesday and every Thursday. Although I wasn't here at all last week. So thanks to Clive for looking after the runs last week. But this actually should be called Film My Run stroke MHG 500, because Clive and the MHG group do regularly come along and support us on a Tuesday and Thursday. We've got 20 runners today, but to be fair, most of them are not following the instructions as written. So some of them are running a lot faster. Whether they have the incline on, I don't know. Probably most of them are running it flat. So what I mean is flat feet. So they're not on their toes, they're just kind of using it as a cardio session to get their heart rate up, which is not what the run is about. The run is about strengthening your legs, particularly your calves and your quads, so that when you're in a situation like this in a race, you're more efficient. Time to step it up and get those avatars running. So we're going up to 7 kph now. 7 kilometers an hour, here we go. Okay, up to 7. Heart rate for Lee Burchard is 161. Heart rate for me 141 at the moment. Three kilometers in, just over 1 kilometer left to do now. Clive's heart rate is 144. Mine's jumped up to 146. Drop your shoulders. Full stop. Head up. Full stop. Breathe. Full stop. Relax. Lee Burchard has failed on all of those. Dropping his shoulders, head up, breathing and relaxing. It's not happening for Lee. Come on, Lee, you can do this. 8 minutes to go. Heart rate for Clive, 150. Clive is out of the game. And I'm about to be out of the game. 148 for me. One kilometre left. And there's 151 for me now. $151. I'm out. I'm out. Tina says, I see Clive is wearing his Collins Cup shirt. Oh yes. I forgot about the Collins Cup. We need to get some running done on those, don't we? Get the points in the bag for the Europe team. Starting to work now. Stay up on your toes, guys. 6 minutes to go. Tina's got a shirt. Lee says, do you promise this works? If you do it properly and you do it regularly, Lee, yes, absolutely. And what you'll find, as Clive has found as Victoria has found, is once your calf muscles start strengthening, you will start to naturally feel drawn to running like this in outdoor situations. So going onto your toes naturally when you climb a hill. Because it will feel more efficient, it will feel more comfortable to run like this. Oh well, Lee, if you don't go outdoors, then do what you like. I mean, if it's just about getting fit, then you can walk this, or you could power hike it, or whatever, if it's just to get your heart rate up, to get generally fitter. But this is specific race training. So this training is specific to people doing mountain ultras, trail ultras, where there's hills, where you want to race and you can't walk because you'll be caught from behind, or maybe the hill isn't quite steep enough to walk up, and you feel like you have to run it. This is a really efficient way of getting up a hill quickly using minimal energy, but it will also generally strengthen your calves for flat running as well. So your leg spring stiffness should improve here on the flat, which is the spring that you get when you push forward off on your toe to move forward on a flat surface. You use a kind of rebound spring energy in your leg, and strong calves and strong tendons in your ankle will improve that, meaning you move faster across the ground. 500 meters to go. My heart rate is 156. There we go. Tina says, although I rarely do this session, I run outdoor hills this way and it works. So there you go. There's Tina backing us up as well. 3 minutes to go. So the hot weather definitely brings your heart rate up in these situations. The ride-ons have dropped. And there's the arch up ahead. And there's one last 200 metre sprint to do to the end. Stay on your feet though, stay on your toes. Thank you everyone for joining this week. We will do it all again on Thursday. When you get to the arch, stay on your toes, but go as fast as you like. So here we go, last 200 metres, 1 minute to go. Thanks for the chat on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, guys. Thank you very much for joining to watch or to take part. 100 metres left of the Film My Run 500. Well done, Eleanor. Well done, Lee. Well done, Clive. Well done, Andrew Jackson. Well done, everyone who took part today. Heart rate 159 for me as well, Clive. Max heart rate 161. Yeah, so average heart rate 136. So we just about stayed in zone 2 for average heart rate, which is good. But then that's not to say that a lot of that was zone 3 running again. So yesterday we did a zone 3 run. Today 2 kilometers of this run today have been zone 3 running as well, although the average stayed in zone 2. So that's okay. I'll let myself off again for another zone 3 run. And tonight's going to be a zone 3 run as well. Zone 3, zone 4. I'll be doing a club session outside tonight, so I won't be around on Zwift tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday. Now, if I'm doing a race tonight, I probably won't do Wednesday workout tomorrow. So we'll have an easy run tomorrow on Zwift. So I'm not going to do Wednesday workout tomorrow. Let's have a look, actually. Tina says, have a great handicap race. See you all tomorrow. Thank you, Tina. Right, first up, Collins Cup. Now, if you haven't done one of these, this is worth thinking about. So the Collins Cup, it's basically, they're not races, but they are group runs. But the idea is that we're in competition with the Americas and Oceania and the rest of, there's an international group as well. So Europe, international, Americas, who else is there? Oh no, right, it's Team US, Team Europe and Team International. So 3 teams, Team Europe, Team US and Team International. And the idea is that you run for your team. So at 3 o'clock this afternoon, you can run for Europe. And the idea is to build up as many points as you can for your team and to see who wins basically at the end. So that's the Collins Cup. Tina and Clive have already run Collins Cup events and you get a shirt, a virtual shirt at the end of it. So if you can, go and join one of the Collins Cup runs. And maybe, let's see, tomorrow, is there a Collins Cup that I can do later in the evening? 3 o'clock? There isn't, is there? Look at that, that's annoying. No, there isn't a Collins Cup tomorrow evening. We've got PAX Next Step 8K. Oh, hang on. What's this one here? Collins Cup. Right, right, I'm not sure I understand this. There is a Collins Cup Group Run USA at 8 o'clock. Now, if I run that, does that mean I give points to the USA team? Or what? Yeah, you see, I think if I run that one, I give points to the US team, don't I? I have to run one that says Collins Cup Europe. So the 8 o'clock one is for USA runners. So I'm not going to do that, which is annoying because I'd quite like to do a Collins Cup. We're not going to do Wednesday workout. So it might be the Pack Beginners Step-by-Step group at 7:15 tomorrow evening. There's an international. Collins Cup Group Run International at 4 o'clock, but no European one. The European one is at 3 o'clock. Maybe we could do the Europe. Maybe I could do a Europe one at 3 o'clock, like a short distance, and then do pack step by step at 7:15. What do we think? Maybe we'll do that. Okay, well, I'm going to put my name down for the pack step by step. Pack next step, 8k run. So we'll do that tomorrow. There we are. I'll put my name down in Group A for that. And then I'll also think about doing the Collins Cup Europe run. What are the distances? Let's have a look. 15 kilometres, 10 kilometres, or 5 kilometres. So I could do the 10 kilometre run at 3 o'clock. Not many people doing it though, are there? We'll leave that for the time being. That's a possibility. Okay, so that's us done. 4.2 kilometres run on Ventop for the Film My Run 500. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking part and commenting and watching. And we'll see you all tomorrow for at least for the pack next step 8k to 7:15 UK time. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.